Hello, and welcome back to Star Wars Minute. It's the daily podcast where we analyze, scrutinize, and celebrate the Star Wars movies 1 minute at a time. I'm Pete the Retailer from PeteTheRetailer.com.
I'm Alex Robinson from AlexRobinson.fun.
I'm Lacey Gillerand from the Resistance broadcast at StarWarsNewsNet.com.
Yes, welcome back, Lacey. Thanks for coming back again.
Thanks. Yeah.
We are still talking about Solo, a Star Wars story.
Still.
Right now, we're up to minute 28. Minute 28 of Solo starts with Val suggesting that they hire Bosk. Let's give Bosk a call. And it ends with Rio asking Flyboy Han Solo what his sob story is. Solo, a sob story. That's what we're about to get. Now, I have a note that'll be cogent to you guys, but not necessarily the populace at large won't realize that I want to apologize for this scene, the couple of scenes in the thing that we send out that has the minutes to watch for this project. This scene is so dark that the software got confused and cropped it funny. So there's parts where, like, I was noting, I was like, man, did they really shoot it that way? Like, why are their heads cut off? And like
Oh yeah.
I went back and popped up Disney Plus. I'm like, is this really the way it's supposed to go? And no, it's not. The software got confused and cropped it in a funny way because this fire, like, the movie is already dark, and then this kind of by the fire scene has like a low overhang thing that kind of tricked it into thinking that was essentially like a letterbox.
Oh.
So, listeners at home, viewers on YouTube, they don't know, they don't care. But to you guys, I want to apologize and say that my software was faulty.
Oh, it's okay. It's surprising you say it though, because people did complain about Solo being too dark. That was like one of the big things people didn't. And I didn't really think about it because when you're watching it in the movie theater, you're like, oh, it's dark in here. It's dark. It's fine.
Yeah.
But then when you watch it at home, you're like, wow, this is really kind of dark.
Yeah.
I can't see things. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it for the first time in a drive-in, and as the drive-in was, as the movie was starting, it's not quite, as dark as it can be yet. It wasn't the second part of the double feature. It was, there's Solo basically. So it was by
5 o'clock in July. You were starting.
Yeah. So it's like, all right, it's a little bit. Don't really know what's going on, especially that beginning part with Mother Proxima and all that stuff. It's just what? I don't know who they're talking to. I think there's a worm there. But
Han?
Yeah. So yes, it's so dark the software cropped it. It got cut off. But we have
I accept your apology.
Let me write that down. We do have what
seldom happens, so
I feel like it's the first appearance of the word moron in a Star Wars movie.
I think so. I noticed that too. I was like, and it's funny because when you guys asked me to come on, you're like breaking down minute by minute. It's like you pick up on things that you don't watch when you're watching it as a whole, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the moron thing stood out to me. I was like, oh, I didn't realize they said moron in this movie.
Yeah.
Do you think they mean in the old-fashioned clinical sense where it's like, because it used to be a designation where if you had an IQ between 50 and 60, you were technically a moron. If you had between 60 and another thing, you were an idiot or whatever. So I wonder if he means it in the psychiatric sense.
Right, now they're all pejorative. Now they're all
exactly.
But,
so
yes, or maybe moron is a species from a different planet that we don't know about.
You moron.
Right.
Pablo Hidalgo's planned some creature that we don't know yet, and then 10 movies from now, morons will show up and we'll be like, right.
Yeah.
Look out, it's a moron.
Yeah. Oh, he literally meant this.
I was reading a true crime book one time, and it was about it was set during, I think, the 1920s or something. And there was people who were going around, it was one of these things where people were panicking about children being abducted and stuff. And the people allegedly doing this were low intelligence, attackers. And so the headlines were like, New York City is under attack by sex morons.
Wow.
There was Sex Moron sounds like a cool punk band or something.
Right, yeah.
So anyway.
What are you, some kind of sex moron? I don't know.
So yeah, we have Val is not a fan of Han Solo and Chewbacca, presumably.
I think women in general aren't fans of Han Solo until it creeps in, and then they're like, wait, do I love him?
It's probably maybe for the best that Val didn't eventually wind up being seduced by a scoundrel.
Is that Val's gut talking? Like, I don't want him around because I find him kind of attractive and I don't want to ruin what I got here.
It always seems to happen with him. They're like, I hate him, but do I?
I like also that they imply that her badgering is going on for like 6 hours because she starts off while they're at the hill looking at the binoculars, and then it kind of segues into them at the campfire, which makes it feel like this has been like 5 hours of her hectoring Beckett.
It's like us talking about the coat last time.
Right.
Just never ended. Just keep going.
Yes.
It's a good, and I do like, for the most part, that this little kind of back and forth dialogue between these guys, I say it moves back and forth between feeling kind of organic and fun and funny, and then every once in a while it's just like they have to hit these kind of cliche signposts or tent posts rather, where it's just like, okay, well now we have to do this part. So we have to either reveal this part of exposition or reveal part of your character. So the conversation is going to go in this direction right now because, that's what it says on I'm getting the warning from the clock. But I do like the moron bit. It's, like, are you guys morons? No, see?
Although it's kind of a bad strategy because my experience is that morons typically are the last people to realize they are morons. So maybe Val's right that Beckett's a little too trustworthy. That a moron is going to say, "Yeah, I am a moron technically."
Plus, we don't know what does he shake his head or does he say something here or neither?
He goes, "Well,
yeah." Technically, you talking in the clinical sense? I love the idea that if you translate Chewie's voice back, it sounds a little bit like George Lucas. Like, well, technically,
So while denigrating Han and Chewbacca, she says that they should have gotten Bosk or the Zan sisters.
Yes.
Bosk, of course, beloved bounty hunter from Empire Strikes Back, and I know he was in the Clone Wars too. Take it easy, everyone. We know.
So I was going to say, we know he was. So we do know he was around and famous enough at this point. How long did they live? Plus, Chewie would probably be upset if they got Bosk. Does he know Bosk by name? Do you think? Did they fight in the Clone Wars? Chewie and Bosk. Did they meet up?
We'll have to wait for the Book of Bosk to come out, and hopefully there'll be there'll be some scenes of Bosk in a back to tank Bosk having flashbacks to his time in the Clone Wars. I do want to see a kid Bosk, boy Bosk.
Yes, Bosk we know of, and it's interesting that he's. I don't know. Again, if they had just said familiar things, I would be upset. If they had said all new things, I'd be like, a little bit, I'm saying one familiar thing and one new thing, it's perfect.
It kind of felt like you were saying like a game of Password, where the characters had a list that they were like hinting at you that these certain things were happening or certain characters are coming up, and they're trying to make it so that the characters in the scene aren't aware that they're, the password is Bosk.
Right. Or a pyramid where I'm trying to get somebody to say bounty hunters. I'm like, the Bosk or the Zan sisters.
Well, Pete, I know you're a big Buckaroo Banzai fan, and apparently the Zan sisters were named in honor of the Buckaroo Banzai villain, whose name apparently is Zan. I've never seen all of Buckaroo Banzai.
Wait, Emilio Lizardo?
No, some other character. Maybe not the villain. Maybe some other character in Buckaroo Banzai. When I looked up Zan sisters on Wikipedia, that's what it said. So don't blame me.
Blame Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blame those Wookiees.
Talk about an advertisement. Don't blame us. Blame them.
Well, now that's going to be driving me crazy because it sounds familiar. I'm like, yes, okay. But, well, I'll have to look it up in between episodes. Before tomorrow's show, I'll try to find out.
Well, here's a question. Are they camping or are they sleeping on the ship and this is just kind of them relaxing outside for a bit to get some ambiance, or like, do you think they're sleeping on the ship or are they camping?
I think they're camping because they had to leave the ship a distance away probably so people wouldn't spot them maybe.
Yeah.
But then they're on it the next day to fly in. So if they're trying to keep a low profile, they're going to use the ship anyway, so.
Yeah. Although it's also possible that even though it has a shower, it's possible that the hauler might not have bunks.
But it has camping gear.
Well, that's probably in their stuff. Remember, they went back and got their stuff. That's why they have clothes.
Did?
That's why they have clothes.
Oh. Yeah, I guess so.
They had to go pick up their stuff and bring it into
So at some point before they left Mud Planet, they stopped and got their stuff.
There's a little like a little U-Haul, like the little ones.
They went to a Target,
Oh, there you go. I'd love to see them all wearing like house brand, what is it, like Goodfellow or whatever that they're all wearing like polos and khakis and stuff. But why am I back to wanting to put Chewbacca into frat boy gear?
I don't know.
We got to get deeper into why this is happening.
I would rather they go to a store that sold more like stuff that would be appropriate for the job they're going to do. So I would prefer a military Target personally,
or a Sierra Trading Post.
Yeah, exactly. With
it's like the TJ Maxx or TJ Maxx for the working man. That's what Sierra Trading.
TJ Maxx. TJ Maxx.
Space J Max.
Yeah.
Rebo Max. Anyway. So yeah, this is also where we get when they're debating about whether to keep them on the team. Rio says it's not wise to disinvite a Wookiee.
Wookiee.
Which I like that there's all these etiquette things about Wookiees. Like you don't want to disinvite them. You don't want to beat them in a chess game. They're very temperamental.
Well, but I think a lot of that is, it's pure smokescreen. It's pure reputation. It's just like, they're tough. I don't want to. You ever try to? You don't want to cross them essentially, and so any of these little minor irritations people are worried would turn into
major irritations.
Yes, turn into limbs getting ripped off and growling and howling.
I do love hearing Jon Favreau's voice, though. Every time I hear his voice, it just makes me happy because I'm like, he's in this movie and he doesn't even know the things he's going to do in a couple of years with Star Wars. Like, he has no idea. It's a different time period, Jon Favreau.
I looked up Jon Favreau on the IMDb. You guys want to guess what his top 4 credits are on the IMDb?
Like acting credits or overall credits? Like,
they are. Well, he does act in all of them.
Oh, okay.
But some of them are ones he directed. So it's Jon Favreau. So Elf not in the top 4.
Oh, he plays the doctor.
Oh yeah, no, and he directed it too, right?
Yes.
So I saw that there's apparently a disagreement. Jon Favreau is keen on doing Elf 2. But
Will Ferrell said no.
Will Ferrell does not want to do it.
Correct.
So
they should, if they've already got a rift going, he should totally replace him with John C. Reilly. They've already, because there's that whole thing with that show about the Lakers that Adam McKay wanted to do it, and Will Ferrell really wanted to be the star of it, but then he went with John C. Reilly, and they had a whole falling out, and there's articles written about how they had a falling out.
Wow.
Do that. Iron Man.
Iron Man is in one of the is in the top.
All right.
Iron Man. I Love You Man, maybe? Interesting. Trying to think what else. All I've ever seen him in recently is like smaller things. So I Love You Man, Elf, Seinfeld. He's the clown in Seinfeld, which I didn't realize until I heard his voice, and I was like, that's Jon Favreau.
Oh
wait, what's his Swingers? Is it Swingers?
Oh,
Swingers
Swingers.
Is there.
Yes, obviously. Duh.
The other 2 were Chef the movie Chef and Avengers Endgame. Seems kind of like cheating.
Yeah, but that's like the RSTLNE of IMDb. I'm not spelling things out so the kids don't understand. I'm actually just using words, but that should be a chip in. You should not. That shouldn't count towards anybody's thing. So many people in that.
Yeah, exactly. We get to hear what is kind of a catchphrase for the movie. You're never going to learn to play that vowel chord.
Gleon some.
Which I would, again, we've talked a little bit about this movie being a musical. Were it a musical, it would be nice to have everybody this little bit between today and tomorrow, actually, and maybe even the next day when they're talking about their kind of goals and what they want out of life, what they're going to do with their share and all that stuff. Perfect to do a song about that. With you have to bring in the Valachor though. He'd be trying to play it kind of badly in between verses. He would play a little Valachor solo and it'd be terrible in between each one. So
it wouldn't even get better as it went on.
No, because he's tone deaf.
He is tone deaf.
Yeah. But and along those same lines, I think Lacey, you just said this. A Glee Anselm. I go back to Glee Anselm, and I had forgotten that that's a real, quote unquote real. That's an existing Star Wars planet. Before this, it's not just something they made up that sounded neat for the movie. It's where Kit Fisto's from.
Interesting.
Fisto's planet.
Fisto world. Fisto home world.
Yeah.
I think that's one of those ones that they mad-libbed, like they left it open in the script of like, I need to go back to blank, and then they went to the story group and Pablo was like, how about Glee Ensemble? And they're like, okay.
Sounds good. Yeah, that's how they got what was the not Caldor. What is the
Vandor.
Candor? No.
Vandor.
No.
Close the Vandor.
Bottled City of Candor. No, what was the spaceport in Corellia?
Oh,
Coronet City. There you go.
Coronet City. Yeah.
That was the kind of thing where they're just like, they put in parentheses exactly like Mad Libs. They put in like spaceport on Corellia, and they went back to story group, and they're like, okay, Coronet City, like great. Right. Find and replace.
Yeah. So do we think these are the best kind of Easter eggs? Because so few people are going to catch those references that it's almost like they're rewarding the most diligent seekers who are watching those shows intently enough to remember every little Clone Wars planet being mentioned and stuff.
Even for the people that might not get it at first, but then go look it up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I as somebody who experiences that both on the Star Wars side and speaking of Iron Man, the Marvel side every once in a while, it's just these little blips of, I guarantee I was the only one in the theater, speaking of Iron Man 3, who was excited about Man-Thing's wife being in it, and it didn't matter to everybody else, but I was just like, and then that's it. I get that little joy, and then
is there a Mrs. Man-Thing?
There she is. And so
I saw one of the funniest tweets online that was just like someone saying being a Marvel fan is being at the end of the credits, and some random guy walks in and he's like, "Hi, I'm Borged, and I'm here to save you." And everyone's like, "What?" And there's one person that's like, "All right." That's what that feels like.
Totally.
Yeah. And that guy's doubly happy because not only is Borg here, but he's the only one who knew it. And so he gets that nerd crown of being,
achievement unlocked.
Oh, do you guys not know Borg? Oh, well, I guess I'm the only one.
Right.
I have two other bits of Jon Favreau trivia.
Okay.
Number one, he apparently met Vince Vaughn, his longtime screen companion. They were both in the film Rudy, which I was unaware of.
How have we not seen him in Star Wars yet, Vince Vaughn? My co-host John Hoey always brings up Vince Vaughn's going to be a bartender this season of Mandalorian, and he never shows up. And I'm just waiting for the has Vince Vaughn already been in Star Wars and we just don't know it? Like, is he under a mask or something? Yeah.
Did they have a falling out? Maybe are they not as tight as they once were?
Oh, that would make me sad. But
like John C. Reilly and Adam McKay.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Sorry to bring us down there.
this one's a bit more lighthearted.
Okay.
In college, Jon Favreau, his nickname, he dropped out of college, but while he was there, he got the nickname Johnny Hack because he was good at hacky sack.
Wow.
The nickname Johnny Hack is so funny for a hacky sack player.
Wow.
So
I gotta say, how are the most successful people, the people that always drop out of school, high school, college, whatever, they're always like, I'm done. And then, or James Cameron was a truck driver and he's like, I'm going to be a director. And now he's making amounts of money that you can't even imagine and like making the coolest movies. It always happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the dream, is just dropping out and just becoming this like super successful movie director, actor.
Yeah. I don't think it always happens. I'm guessing there are more people who have dropped out.
Sure.
I'm like, boy, I wish I hadn't dropped out. So,
the record right now is 5 for 5. Man, it is quite a record.
Right.
Yeah. That was a big enough sample, I think. So at this point, everyone should just drop out of college. I mean,
if you're listening, kids, go for it.
Please
drop
don't.
Out.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have for minute 28. Johnny Hack.
Johnny Hack. Now,
King of the Sack.
I am interested in that, and I do want to know, both of those things. I do want to know why hasn't Vince Vaughn been in this? Unless maybe Vince Vaughn doesn't care about Star Wars.
Neither did Bill Burr, and now he's in everything.
Yeah.
But I think even if you don't care about Star Wars, I just mean almost like it seems like it's like such a good paycheck and
Right.
I don't know. To me, it seems like...
What if he hates Star Wars?
Maybe. He's like, I'm a Star Trek fan. Star Wars dumbed down the science fiction. It's my Vince Vaughn impression, in case you couldn't... I don't know if people thought he walked into the studio and had taken over, but no, that was just me doing his voice.
Yeah, if you're just listening to this at home and you're not watching the video, that wasn't Vince Vaughn, that was Alex.
Don't get alarmed. So, why isn't he? And maybe people... Is it the kind of thing where, like, Jon Favreau's like, I don't want to just put him in because everyone's just going to assume I put him in just because he's my friend and stuff.
But everybody he's put in are friends. Like, everybody in The Mandalorian, they're like, oh, well, John asked me at a bar. And they're like, oh, John saw me at the supermarket. Oh, I saw John at the library. And he was just like, hey, you like Star Wars? Come be in Star Wars. Like, that's just seemingly who he is.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Lacey. If you were to have a cameo in a Star Wars movie, what kind of character would you like to be? Do you want to be a robot? Do you want to be Imperial? Do you want to be a space alien? Do you want to be wearing a mask? Do you want to be able to see your face? What's your story?
I selfishly want people to see my face just so I could be like, see, I was in it. Because otherwise people would be like, no, you weren't. But at the same time,
skeptical friends.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of want to be the voice of like a really cool character, like Babu Frick or something that became like a really fan favorite character, but has like a weird quirkiness to them. Like I feel like that I would like shine in a moment like that because I'm weird.
Right.
That would be a good. That's probably the sweet spot, right? You want to get in, make an impression, and then get out and just be like, hey, like they can't. And
the creature stuff is just so cool to me that I'd be like, I'd be geeking out the whole time.
Well, that's why I don't know if you'd want to do a voice of a creature because, like, then you don't get to go to the set. You just get to go to a recording studio and go.
Shirley Henderson, the person that is the voice of Babu Frick, also learned how to puppeteer to be the puppeteer of Babu Frick.
Wow.
That's why I used that example.
Okay, yeah. Getting to do the puppet, too.
So she got the double coolness of being on set and getting to be the puppeteer while also doing the voice.
Yeah. Right. You're like, great, I'll take the puppeteer. And they go, okay, get in the back of Java's tail. No. Guy smoking a cigar under there.
Yeah. There's a little person in there with a cigar being like, hey, can you let them know I'm in here? It's been 4 years.
Big long beard.
Yeah. Along those lines, I have kind of blown my kid's mind is by being like, see, Moaning Myrtle, that's Babu Frick.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Also,
for when
Bridget Jones' friend.
They haven't gotten to that.
Well, I'm saying for
yet.
Adults listening.
Yeah. Right.
Also, Bridget Jones' friend. Swears a lot.
Right. I like how over time you get to reveal them different roles as they age. Now you get to be. She was in the Topsy-Turvy movie. It's true. Look it up.
I got excited for a second because I was looking it up in the background. And I was like, Vince Vaughn, Star Wars. What's the deal? And there was a clone trooper CT0292, whose nickname is Vaughn. Behind the scenes, he was voiced by D. Bradley Baker. And it doesn't...
Again, that guy voices everyone.
There's no reason why... They don't even mention in the Wikipedia. They're just like, well, this is named as a tribute to... No.
Supermarket chain.
Although, Vaughn's. His name is Vaughn, and he first appeared in the Clone Wars Old Friends Not Forgotten, and there's no mention of him being named after Vince Vaughn. There's nothing about Vince Vaughn.
Not a signpost or a plaque.
This is troubling. This is a puzzle that we'll have to dig into. Because according to everything, seems like they are still friends and, co-workers essentially, but Do
you think maybe Vince Vaughn is like holding out for like a juicy part? Like, I want to play Admiral Thrawn, or
Vaughn is Thrawn.
Oh no.
He's got the marketing guys.
Crimson Dawn.
Oh, there you go. Boom. Do you think he was like, did they, especially in like, granted, I love the work that Woody Harrelson does here, but Beckett could have been a role for Vince Vaughn. Similar kind of thing. He could have been that guy.
I think Woody Harrelson does a good job, but for me as a Hunger Games fan, it's the same role he plays in Hunger Games.
Oh, right. I forgot he was in that.
Yeah. He plays,
I also think that
Haymitch is the same character as Beckett. Like, same attitude, same kind of look. It's the same character.
I also think Vince Vaughn is a little too hip and ironic, whereas Woody Harrelson is a bit more like, I guess because he has the accent and stuff, he just sounds a bit more cowboyish as opposed to...
rough around the edges, yeah.
Yeah, like, I can't picture Vince Vaughn on a horse.
I'm just picturing Wedding Crashers. And that whole act is like, to me, is Vince Vaughn. Like, they're really talking really fast and you can't decide what do you want to do. What do you want to do? Do you want to go here? Do you want to do there? And that, to me, doesn't fit in Star Wars currently.
Yeah, it's too urban.
Show me a character where it fits, because right now, all I'm thinking about is that character.
What if they do an all Wookiee remake of Wedding Crashers? But with Vince Vaughn is the only human. Vince Vaughn is the human.
And Blake Lively, just cause.
Right. Well, we have the CG model already, so
just
from the Wookiee movie. So we'll bring that.
It's like that thing you can remake one movie as a Muppet movie, but with one human.
Right.
But we'll do it with Wookiees. You get to remake any movie as an all Wookiee movie. But
not another Wookiee movie. That would be what it was.
Now
called.
I'm just picturing the bike scene from Wedding Crashers where they're riding the bikes to like, in the summertime. It's like him with the girl, but it's a Wookiee and Vince Vaughn.
You got to be careful with a Wookiee on a bicycle.
Yeah, you get that fur all caught up in the chain. So they'd have to shave or put on socks or something for that one side that was on their
compression.
Although that was Owen Wilson's part, so never mind. That doesn't make sense. But if
wow,
never mind. Wow,
that's all I got for 28.
Yeah, pretty much. Was there anything else about the Zan other than the fact that they were named after Buckaroo Banzai? There's no.
I think it's something that I think must have come from the novel because it's such a slight thing. I can't imagine this was in like a comic or who knows. Apparently, Val borrowed goggles from one of the Zan sisters, and it's the goggles that she's wearing here. So they get destroyed when Val gets killed later on. So Zan sisters are out a pair of goggles. I think that's going to be in Solo. That's going to be the plot of Solo 2, is them trying to come back to look for their goggles. Yeah.
Right.
The
Han Solo and the missing goggles.
That sounds like an Encyclopedia Brown story or something.
Well, on that note, let's say we can't get. I was going to try to tie it into our merchandise page and say if you wanted to get goggles, they don't make goggles at our merchandise page. You can't get stuff printed on goggles yet, or sunglasses, none of that stuff. But you can get a tapestry like the one that's behind Alex. You can get a t-shirt, mug, skateboard, bath mat, all kinds of stuff from our merch stores, which you can get to StarWarsMinute.com/merch, MERCH. Lots of fun designs that we have up there. all kinds of different fun Star Wars things. Go check it out. Buy some stuff. Meet us back here tomorrow for a brand new episode of Star Wars Minute.
Star Wars Minute!